I said college won't give you knowledge. From what I've read, it just gives you debt. Tuition and fees will bring you.
Welcome to our third episode of our Season 8 rewatch of America's Got Talent. I'm Cody Patterson. Along with me is the guy that loves to blow himself up while doing the rain dance. Here's Cody Mims.
Make some Illinois.
Make some Illinois. We're back in Chicago. They keep jumping around and coming back to the same cities on us, and I just got to the point where I stopped writing down all the cities that we were in because I didn't even know where we were at one point.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Well, tonight we are covering episode 5, 6, and 7 of season 8. So these are all auditions. These are the last of the auditions. We're ready to move on to Vegas. So we're going to pack a lot of stuff into this episode. This could be a pretty big episode for us.
Get ready, folks.
Get ready. I hope you all have your nice pumpkin spice lattes or eggnog or whatever it is that you're now drinking. It's now the first of the year. We are in 2017.
Hello, 2017.
Hello, 2017. Did you have a good Happy New Year?
Yeah, I did. What about you?
I had a great. We had family over. Had some great time. Played a lot of games. Kept thinking about AGT, though.
As we always do.
As we always do. We are just a few months away from Season 12 starting. But until then, we have Season 8 that we need to finish. So we're going to get right into it. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So we started off with a feature package of Kelsey and Bailey, a dog act. And they performed the song We Go Together from Grease. How'd you like Kelsey and Bailey?
This was decent enough. I thought it was better than Jose and Carrie that we saw in season 11.
Yeah, I don't remember much from Jose and Carrie. I may have to go back and check that. Can you refresh me on Jose and Carrie?
That was also a dancing dog act. It was basically just the dog was kind of moving around on its hind legs, so I thought this was a little bit more advanced.
Yeah, this was really good. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was really cute. It's probably one of the better. It's one of the better dog acts that we've probably seen over the years.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Now, Howie said that it dances better than some of the Spice Girls. Do you think it dances better than Mel B?
I don't know. Perhaps.
Have you ever seen Mel B dance?
I really don't think that I have, no.
Okay. Well, Kelsey and Bailey got put through to Vegas, so I guess we'll be seeing them pretty soon. Do you think... Well, you probably know how Kelsey and Bailey are going to do. I'm not sure they're going to go far. Do you happen to remember how they do?
I don't remember, so that probably means they don't go that far, but, we'll see how they do.
Yep, or you could just be bluffing.
I'm devious.
That's right, because if you can't remember them, that probably means they didn't do well.
Yeah. But then again, I tend to tune these kind of acts out.
Right, the dog acts?
Yeah, I mean, we don't get a lot of them, but the dogs just kind of flop around. I don't know.
I do like dog acts early on. We've talked about our latte dogs. I'm not going to beat that one down again. I do like dog acts early on. I don't think that they're a winning Vegas act, but we'll see. We'll see how they do.
Yeah.
Well, then we get some montages that get put through to Vegas. We get Spintacular, which is a basketball trick family. They had some people up on unicycles. They gave us a story where the wife gave birth to 12 children. Could you imagine having 11 brothers and sisters?
Oh my God. No,
I know, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. I mean, they pretty much have a basketball team right there with 12 kids.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Yep. So they got put through. The next singer we got was Cammie Bradley, who sang Over the Rainbow. And she seemed to sing it like Christina Aguilera.
Yeah, she sounded okay.
Yeah, she was okay. Howie says that she's going to be a big star, or that they found a big star. It was only about a 5 second package. Yeah, I thought it was okay. I wasn't that impressed by it, but they went ahead and sent her on to Vegas. We then get a quick package of a dancing act where they hold TVs and kind of do some projection work, and they perform that to "What a Wonderful World" by Louis Armstrong. I thought this was kind of interesting. This was kind of a twist on some of the projection acts that we've seen before.
Yeah, to me this looked a lot more gimmicky than just having one screen. So I don't know that I was really a fan of it. Things like this can be done well. There's some other acts that have done it better, which you will see in the future, I think. But I wasn't a super big fan of this one. What did you think?
I thought it was okay. Since it was just kind of a quick package, I couldn't really soak it in a lot. Since they did get put through to Vegas, we might see them perform again. If we do, I can probably give a better judgment on them if we see them perform in the next round.
Yeah.
Anything on those three acts that we saw quickly?
No, I think that's good.
Okay. We then get a clip of some contestants wearing lucky clothing. Doesn't surprise me that these contestants come in saying I'm wearing my lucky hat or my lucky socks or I haven't changed my underwear in a week or anything of that nature. A lot of people are very superstitious when it comes to this type of stuff.
Yeah.
We then get a feature of a guy named David Furman, a 19-year-old juggler. His story is that he went on a cruise and he was brought up on stage with a juggler, and the juggler kind of told him he was a natural, and he just started taking up juggling and grew up juggling. During his performance, Howard told him that jugglers don't get a lot of respect. What do you think of that?
He's alright. I think they're kind of undervalued, but season 11 was supposed to be the year of the juggler, so
Yep.
we all know what people think of them now.
Yes. So he was about 4 seasons too early for the year of the juggler. But his act was pretty impressive. He started out just juggling 6 balls, kind of a little warm-up act. Then he did an act with a Molotov cocktail. Were you familiar with what a Molotov cocktail was?
Yes.
You probably played video games that have Molotov cocktails?
Yeah.
Yeah. So once he pulled out the Molotov cocktail, the judges quickly abandoned their post and went and hid.
Right.
He then blew up a balloon and put that balloon on a stick and quickly popped the balloon, and the Molotov cocktail fell down onto the stick. What'd you think of this?
So his big trick wasn't really juggling in the end, right? I'm kind of confused on what this is supposed to be, but this dude's awesome nonetheless. I think he definitely has talent, and it was quick, slick, and it was original danger, and I felt very good about it.
You're right. His act was not typical juggling. It was more like balancing, which I still think kind of falls into the juggling category. It was a danger act, similar to what the Passing Zone does, from season 11 and from season 1. So I kind of saw it as juggling. He had to really concentrate and balance that Molotov cocktail on the stick to keep it from falling and blowing up the entire stage.
Yeah, I was very excited by it.
I was very excited too. I can't wait to see this guy in the next round, and it would not surprise me if they go ahead and put him through and we don't see him perform in Vegas. That he just gets to go straight to the live shows.
He gave them quite a shock.
He did. If this were season 11, would you have given him a golden buzzer?
I might have already given my golden buzzer to Taylor, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That would be your golden buzzer guy. Yeah.
Would you?
Maybe. If I hadn't given it away already. This was pretty impressive because I'm not sure we have seen anything like this before, and for him to just bring total fire into it, and he threw that Molotov cocktail into a trash can, and we saw how much fire it produced. It continued to burn for a long time.
Yes. It was real danger.
It was real danger. It was real fire. No trickery behind that. Do you have anything else to say about David Furman?
I don't think so. Looking forward to more.
I can't wait. We then get some clips of acts getting ready backstage. I think we kind of see this maybe every week or at least a few times a season. Acts just preparing and focusing and concentrating. It's no big surprise that there's a lot of acts that need a lot of preparation. Do you agree?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they're setting up a Rube Goldberg machine or something.
That's right. That's right. Or if they involve gasoline and fire.
Yeah.
We then get a feature of the Chicago boys acrobatic team and jump roping. The story of these guys is they're kind of all from the inner city. A coach comes along and, quote, saves them. He expects them to keep their grades up. A lot of preparation involved in this. This was very exciting to see. What did you think of these kids?
This was like an act that would perform at a pep rally taken to the extreme. And I don't mean that negatively. I like these guys a lot, and they're really fun to watch.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun to watch. And, we had a kid doing the caterpillar over a jump rope. They even took the little kid, I think he was, 6? Or maybe 9,
very young.
Somewhere in that range. Very young, very young. Small kid. They converted him into a jump rope, and the bigger kids were jumping over him. I see a lot from this group. I think there's pretty much the sky's the limit on what these guys can do.
Yeah.
One thing that really caught my... Oh, yeah, they're really good. And I that's another group that I would not be surprised if they went ahead and went to the live show without performing at Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that really caught my eye on this is the coach had to really wait and see what the judges were going to say. And that got me thinking that if an act knows that they did an awesome job, they just nailed it. They just nailed everything. Do you think there's any doubt in their mind that they're not going to Vegas, that they're not going on to the next round?
I think pretty much everybody would get nervous like that, but yeah, we don't see a lot of the controversial ones where there's some judges say yes, some say no, if there even are that many of those. But even still, I think with this act, there is the question of, is this something that fits on this show well? And it turns out that they do, but we kind of haven't really seen a whole lot of stuff like this, so I can see why he would wonder.
That's a good point. In the last few years, it's really been, and there is an act later on that I'm going to talk about where the judges, they were kind of split on it, where that's very controversial. One really wanted him to go through, and then the other two of them didn't want him to go through. But in that instance, I think the act was kind of on the fence. We really don't see an act that just totally nails it. I mean, just totally wows everybody, and then the judges don't. The judges just say, we're not going to let you go on to the next round.
Yeah,
I think that if it just totally wows everybody, that they pretty much are guaranteed to go on to the next round. And it just got me thinking, and I haven't been in the scenario where I've been up on stage in front of 4 celebrity judges and then a room of 2,000, 3,000 people performing, knowing that my future could be based on what these 4 people think.
Yeah, it's got to be very nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Oh, and the coach was also a circus performer for Ringling Brothers. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, they did get put through. Back to the Chicago boys. They did get put through. Do you have anything else to say about the Chicago boys?
They will be interesting to watch.
Good. I'm glad to hear you say that, because I can't wait to really see what they're going to do. it's pretty much open what they can do. So, can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
We then get on to two unique. It's 10-year-old DJ and a 10-year-old rapper, Miss Leela Brown and DJ Young 1. When these two came out on stage, did you think they were both 10 years old?
No.
Did you think one was maybe like 9 and one was like 13?
Yeah, that is definitely what I thought.
Yeah, because one of them is, I mean, they're the same age, but one of them is much taller than the other one. This was a lot of fun. What'd you think of Two Unique?
First of all, the production value on their intro was insane. They shot their interview in some field in front of a cherry blossom tree, which there's a lot of off-site interviews in the later rounds, but it's not often you see that in auditions. And then they had some ridiculous screenshot of YoungTube website, which I guess was supposed to be like YouTube, which I would imagine you also noticed since you work in tech. And then there were these crazy camera sweeps during their performances. So, yeah, they really... AGT managed to bring the hype for them. So, they brought the energy, I guess. It seemed like kind of high praise from the judges, but there's some talent in there.
Yeah, there is some talent in there. And talking about their little package, you're right. Most of the packages we see in auditions is them just sitting there in the green room or the waiting room or whatever it is, just talking to a producer.
Yeah.
And they may show, a little clip of when they were, a picture of when they were young or when they were doing their act somewhere else. But they had, you're right, they stepped up the production value in this little package.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about. I just noticed it.
I wonder if they go out and perform, and then after they've performed, AGT then comes to them and says, hey, we want to do a little feature on you.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's very possible. Because Howard, I think, said they were like total stars, so it was very high praise.
Howard said that they must be the next big thing. Mel B said they have attitude and swag.
Uh-huh.
I have in my notes that they did get put through to Vegas, but I'm not sure how far they will go. I think we've kind of seen some acts similar to this, and I don't think they've gotten far.
Yeah, I think they might fare better than others, but I'm not totally sure.
Okay. Well, it'll be interesting to see. I think this is an act that will perform in Vegas. It just seemed kind of on the fence for me. The judges seem to like it. I don't know if it's going to be good enough to get the pass straight to the live show.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else about Two Unique?
No, I agree with you. I don't think they'll go through to the live shows.
Okay. Are you bluffing on all that, or are you kind of?
No, I mean, I think I don't know. You're right. Like, they might not just stand out with all of the other acts to be put to be able to skip Vegas, but I don't know. It would be interesting to see them in Vegas with no audience when they kind of exclusively rely on hype and stuff.
Right. That's a kind of a good point on Vegas, and I think we've seen this before in other seasons. This, Vegas really impacts like people that need a reaction from the audience, like comedians. Yes. And these DJs that really want to get the audience involved. It kind of throws them off their game a little bit when there's no one except just the four judges to try to get a reaction out of.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to move on to some more clips that were put through to Vegas. We got a quick clip of a dance crew that had 26 girls in it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Howie said that it's like being in a Spice Girls concert with that many girls. A lot of Spice Girls references in this episode.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Yeah. We then get Sienna, a 12-year-old singer. I didn't think she had a voice of a 12-year-old.
Yeah, I thought she was fine. I wasn't blown away by it, but her
No,
voice is not bad.
yeah. Then we get the Mitzi Dancing School, and they did a traditional Chinese dance. I thought this was, okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, then we get to, and we didn't get his name. We just got a guy singing and playing the guitar. And this is the one that I mentioned earlier that I thought was a little controversial. Howie and Mel B said that they didn't like it, but Howard went nuts trying to get this guy put through. And I'm not a big fan of singers, but in the audition rounds, my opinion, from auditions is, if you at least show some sort of talent, then you should get to move on.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a quota, like they're supposed to keep it under 100 acts. I don't know what that is. Or if they can just put through as many as possible, and then they have to go through and weed them out in Vegas. But as far as this guy goes, I thought he sang and played pretty well enough to be put through to Vegas.
Okay. I thought I didn't really feel the same. I kind of sided with Howie and Mel, and I like seeing these glimpses of the ones that they disagree on. I think it's just interesting, but maybe that's because I'm an odd kind of person. But yeah, I kind of agree that he was a little bland. I think it was appropriate that we didn't hear his name because he sounded like kind of a generic white guy with an acoustic guitar. So I don't know. I admire them for standing up for not putting him through, because I think if they showed the full auditions of everybody they put through, I think we would kind of see that maybe they should weed them out a little more. But I don't know. It is good to give people a chance. So this was interesting to see.
I agree with you I agree with you in that I like seeing them disagree with each other. I think that adds something to the show. And I think one thing we saw in season 11 was the 4 judges agreeing with each other too much. I like a little controversy. I think it adds something to the show when the judges are getting on to each other of, why didn't you put this guy through, or why did you allow them? I think later on we see in one of the episodes, we see where Howie doesn't show up for like the first third of the show. And they're talking about how Howie loves putting these quirky, weird type acts through. But then the other judges just say, why are you putting these, you love weird acts. Why are you putting these weird acts through? So I'm with you. I think it's entertaining to the show when they disagree like that.
Yeah, that's a great point. That they were agreeing with each other a lot in season 11. I think that is sort of the problem in it. I think Howard and Howie can tend to be kind of opposite sides of the spectrum, and like, I'm not saying they should throw anybody else in there just to stir the pot, but it was a nice balance that I think we're missing now. They all kind of tend to vote the same.
Right, and that's what I really loved about seasons, I guess 5, 6, and 7, when Piers and Sharon were on there, is the 3 of them were just constantly going at it, and I really liked that.
Yeah, and I should clarify, they all tend to vote the same, except for when it's judge's choice, when they will tie every single time.
True, yes, that's ridiculous, because 2 will go one way and 2 will go the other, and then it's left up to America to vote.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why don't you just have America's vote and just go with that? And that way we can save 3 minutes of Howie flip-flopping and not deciding which one he wants to go with.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else on this topic?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. We then see a feature on Sully Dunn, an 18-year-old, and we find out that he didn't even fill out his form. Like, he didn't fill out his name, he didn't put his date. This guy, I think I'm going to love watching. He says his talent is he plays the guitar in the style of a teenager. That's what he told the judges.
Yeah.
And he's just constantly like, nervously just moving around the stage, just real jittery and just stepping everywhere. And Howie asked him, "Do you have to go pee?" I mean, he's kind of doing those movements where he's like really trying to hold it and gotta go to the bathroom. This guy is a lot of fun. You like him. He sings his own songs. The song he sang is kind of about his own life experience, and this one particularly was for college. And he was basically telling people, you really don't need to go to college. It's pointless. You go into debt. You don't really learn anything. They show parents out in the audience putting their hands over the kids' ears like, you don't need to be hearing this guy tell you not to go to college. But the song choice and the little story in the song was just absolutely amazing. I love this guy.
Okay.
What did you think of Sully?
I think I have the same tentative approval that most of the judges do. There is something there that most people don't have, but I don't know. I don't know about this guy. I thought it was appropriate that they were in Chicago because I thought he had a very similar belief system as Kanye West.
Because when I die, buddy, you know what's going to keep me warm? That's right, those degrees.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, he has a whole first album called The College Dropout, which speaks a lot about how you don't necessarily need to follow the same path as everybody else and pursue your dreams and whatnot. I think they had very similar sentiments, especially in saying, like, your degrees will make you end up nowhere, things like that. And also, like, when you were talking about how you hadn't filled out his form, it made me think of his next album, Late Registration, but maybe I'm just making blind connections. But that is what he made me think of.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. I wasn't aware that Kanye had those beliefs. I'm not a big Kanye fan, so I'm not familiar with his history and in a lot of his songs. So that's interesting.
Yeah, it also took me by surprise when this guy said he listened to rock music for the first time when he was a freshman. Did you?
Oh, I missed that. That's funny. Yeah, I totally missed that. That's funny.
Yeah. So that was weird. This guy is a very interesting character. Do you think he's going to go far?
I think he is. If his actual talent is singing and doing comedy songs, it seems like he doesn't need the reaction of the audience in Vegas like other comedians will. I think he just sings his song. He doesn't care what other people are responding to or saying. He just does it. I don't think he's a finals act. I think he's going to go to the semifinals and probably get eliminated there. I hope he doesn't blow it in Vegas. I hope he kind of brings the same energy. Another hilarious song in Vegas. I will be really disappointed if he doesn't make it past Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know if I should inform you of what's to come, but yeah.
Please don't say anything about this, because in the next podcast, if I watch the next week in Vegas and he gets eliminated, then you need raw reaction from me on that. So don't give me any hints on this. I think this is my new favorite guy for season 8.
Oh wow. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Howard says he sees him as a star, even though he doesn't like singers doing their own songs. Did I hear that right?
I don't know. I didn't.
Okay, because Howard was the one last time that was big on people singing their own songs, and Howie is not.
Yeah. I don't know.
Howie puts money down that Sully will be a star.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
So we're really flip-flopped on where we were, and I can't remember where we were, but in the last podcast we did, we talked about Howie and Howard, and how they feel about people doing their original songs.
Yeah. It's very confusing.
Yeah, it is very confusing. I'm glad we're doing a podcast to kind of keep all this straight.
Yeah.
I have here, I hope Howard really comes around on this kid. He didn't seem like he was very big on him.
Yeah.
And I hope he never sings a cover. I hope he always sings his own songs.
Yeah. That would be very interesting if he started doing covers.
Yeah, I think that would just ruin it for me. Because I think what attracts me to Sully is he's singing his own life experience songs. He's not just singing, a song that he just kind of wrote that doesn't mean anything. This is life experience for him, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what happens to him in Vegas. I mean, if he gets eliminated, he gets eliminated. I'll be a little disappointed, but I'm excited to see what happens next.
Okay, cool.
You got anything else for Sully?
No, I don't think so. I think we got it.
Good. We then get some clips about the amount of pressure the show brings. Do you think these people are under a tremendous amount of pressure?
Oh, yeah. We touched on that a little bit.
Yeah. We then get a feature of Brandon James, a 34-year-old. He's an opera singer.
Yeah.
What do you think of Brandon?
I'm not a big opera fan, as you know.
Right.
So I cannot speak a lot to his singing, but I am very fascinated by his story. This is such an interesting dynamic of a story and an interesting dynamic on screen. And they even interviewed the mom, which surprised me. So, I don't know. we had some weird documentary type stuff going on here, and I will be definitely interested in seeing how his story plays out. What do you think about that?
This is very similar to, and I don't have his name in front of me, very similar to what we heard earlier in the season, where he is openly gay. His mother disapproves of that, but still supports him in other aspects of his life. So she's there at the audition, supporting him in his audition, still loves his son, did not kick him out of the house on his 18th birthday, which is what we got earlier in the season. So you're right. That is an interesting story. You have the mother. I'm not sure if the father is in the picture because the father didn't get interviewed. I don't think they mentioned his father. So I'm not sure if he's in the picture. So this will kind of be, it's good. I think she's going to be at every performance.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Yes. As far as his performance went, he started out a little rough. It sounded like he was a little off key, but then, about a third of the way through, he kind of got it back together, and then at the end, he got a standing ovation.
Yeah, he is one of the very few, if there even are any others, to get a standing ovation during the performance. So that really surprised me.
Right. Even though Howard and Mel B said they're not big fans of opera, like you, just poking at you there a little bit, he still got a standing ovation from everybody. So, you may not like the genre. And we talked, I talked earlier in the season that I don't think the judges should say they don't like a particular type of act. In this instance, an opera act, an opera singing act. I think they should be open to all types of acts and judge each act individually, and not have a predetermined bias before they've even heard them or seen them perform. So.
Yeah, well, they proved you right.
Yeah. Well, he did get put through to Vegas. Do you got anything else for Brandon?
I don't think so.
We then get some clips of some animal acts, clips of really bad acts where the judges completely lost control. We get a feature of Trevor Stone, a professional cat trainer. Said he's been training cats for about 15 years. He's hoping a cat wins this season, just like Olante Dogs won in season 7.
Mm-hmm. This was very discomforting.
This was very discomforting. It was very awkward. He says he trains cats, but it actually was not a real cat that came out on stage. He was like a giant 8-foot tall, 10-foot long cat that had, I think, probably a couple of people inside of it.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he did not go through. I don't know if they actually said, but well, these were bad acts. I'm guessing none of these went through.
Yeah.
We then get the Squared Circle Review. It was a wrestling sideshow circus. Immediately got 4 buzzes. We get Chris, the wedding DJ. Took DJ experience and turned it into stand-up comedy. We get Enrique from Mexico, and this is one of the talents that really irks me. He teaches people how to dance. And didn't we see in season 11 where somebody teaches people how to laugh?
Yeah, there's a surprising amount of teaching acts. I've seen laughing ones, I've seen meditation ones, I've seen cuddling ones. There's probably been a few more dancing ones. It's just, it's an odd thing that pops up every once in a while.
How do they consider it an act when they teach people how to do something?
I don't know.
If that's if you can teach people how to do it, why don't you just do that as your act? Like, if he can teach samba, why didn't he just dance samba?
Yeah, well, you know what they say. Those who can't do.
Yeah. I guess that's true. We then get the judges forming a conga line. A lot of this is just fun to see. It just adds 15 or 20 seconds to the show where it's just kind of lighthearted. We then are finished with Chicago, I'm guessing. So, anything else from Chicago?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we move right back into your area. Whoop, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Did you have something?
I was going to say this might be the last time we see Chicago, but I don't actually know if it was in the other 2 episodes.
Right, and that's kind of, I was trying to keep notes about where we were, but I think in the last episode, they jumped around a lot, and I couldn't keep track of where we were.
Yeah.
So, we may be in Chicago for an act or 2, and we may not know it. But after this, we go down to San Antonio again. We then get Dave Finley from Lufkin. He's a singer-songwriter, and he sang Too Close by Alex Clare. How'd you like Dave Finley?
Do you know this song?
I don't think so. I'd have to listen to it again. I don't know it by the title.
Okay, this is a heavily electronic song, and the chorus is basically like a dubstep drop. And I didn't really feel like the song benefited from going acoustic, so I didn't feel that strongly about this performance. But what did you think?
I thought it was okay. I have that it works for me. It was kind of bluesy. Since I wasn't familiar with the song, I can't compare it to the actual song. I thought he did a fine job on it. I don't know if he's an act that's going to go very far unless he just pulls out a really good song, maybe one that more people know.
Yeah.
Is this kind of an obscure song, or is it a popular song?
Yeah, it was pretty popular. Not like chart topping, but in the alternative electronic, I guess it was kind of well known.
Okay.
It was in a Microsoft Edge commercial, so it might have even been Internet Explorer back then. I don't know.
I thought he was okay. I mean, it didn't do a lot for me. I think this is really the first big singing act other than the opera singer, or as far as like cover pop songs. I think this is kind of the first one we've seen this week. It was okay.
Yeah.
But he did get put through to Vegas, so it just interests me that this guy got through, but the guy earlier, where they kind of went back and forth and couldn't decide if the guy should go through or not. It's just interesting to me that it all seems kind of the same, and if you have any bit of talent, you should go through. But we've already hashed that out.
Yeah.
We then get Dylan Wilson, a 17-year-old from Huntington, Indiana, and he's a dancer, and they call him Dancing Dylan. And his version of dancing is called it's a version of hip hop that he calls animation. What'd you think of Dancing Dylan?
There was a definite cool factor to this. I would give him a yes.
I would have given him a yes as well. When it first started, it started off very jerky, and then it went like really fast, and it was so good, I actually thought something was wrong with my browser.
Wow.
I'd also be interested to see him go up against Kenichi Abina from earlier in the season.
Oh yeah, that'd be a cool battle.
Yeah, it'll be a great battle, especially with the Vegas format. If this were season 11, we wouldn't know. But with the Vegas, where the dancers go up against each other, it's going to be interesting to see them kind of battle it out.
Yeah, I don't know that they'll really be in the same category then. Kenichi is about to change up his act quite a bit, so yeah.
Okay, that'll be interesting because I'm not sure how the judges will react to someone changing their act. Like, is he not going to be doing dancing in the next round? Is he going to like singing?
No, dancing is involved.
Okay.
I guess it's more of an expansion, but there's less of a focus on dancing. So the way he did his dancing was pretty similar to Dylan Wilson in the beginning, but I don't know if they'll group them together because the focus will kind of be off of that by then.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting to see. Do you have anything else for Dylan?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. We then get Heidi requested some guys without clothes, and all of a sudden we get a group of Spartans come on the stage. And I think, is this the Hunkomania's International Men of Steel?
Hunkomania's, I think, yeah.
Yeah. It's a dance group that's dressed up as Spartan, and they dance to I'm Sexy and I Know It.
Yeah. It's an odd aesthetic pairing.
Yeah. I have that it was really cheesy.
Mm-hmm. It was.
And, of course, the guys, of course, buzzed it. The girls were very into it. And since you need 3 votes to go through, they got sent home.
Yeah.
Because the guys didn't want any part of this.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't get through, I guess. I suppose I'm not really the target audience.
No, I don't think either of us the target audience, and I'm not sure what else they would have done in the second round anyway.
Yeah, probably something very similar.
Yeah. We then get Little Mike and Funny Bone combined. They are called Mike Bone, which sounds like a porn star name to me. They told Nick that he seems taller on TV.
Yeah.
Which was really funny because it's 2 really short guys. And they're brothers. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not
they're
twins,
brothers,
though.
and they're not twins. Both of their names are Jesus.
Yes.
They also have a brother that's in the middle. It's between the 2 of them, and his name is also Jesus.
Yeah. Very interesting.
They say they're 52 inches tall, and they do rap songs. They did a rap song called "Do the Rain Dance."
Yeah.
What'd you think of Jesus and Jesus?
I think they can't compete with Tone the Chief Rocket and Coley Cole, but it was fun to see them.
No, this is kind of their one-hit wonder as well.
Yeah.
And I thought they were really funny. I think they'll be fun to watch in Vegas. I'm not sure how much further they'll get. Mel B said she liked it, but she also hated it. So she has a love-hate relationship with Mike Bone.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Now, I did a little research, and you may find this interesting. Since they did a song called Do the Rain Dance, and they were in San Antonio, the average annual rainfall for San Antonio, do you want to take a guess what it is?
10 inches?
It's 30 inches.
Okay.
So the average rainfall is about 30 inches. If I kind of took a guess that if this were filmed early in the year, like January, February, somewhere around in there, then the average for that time of year is 2 inches.
Oh.
So if you can look at it two ways, that either doing the rain dance doesn't really help at all, or you need the rain dance in order to get that average up a little bit.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a little trivia for you.
Well, thank you for doing the research.
You're welcome. You have anything else for Mike Bone?
No. I like the name, though. It sounded like a
like
rapper to
name?
me,
Yeah.
I guess.
We then get the American Hitmen from Salt Lake City, Utah, and this is a rock band. All of these guys served in the Marine Corps. We thank you guys for your service. They're Iraqi veterans. They met in Operation Phantom Fury. One guy played a double neck guitar, which I thought was really cool. I love seeing guys that play double neck guitars. And they sang the song Simple Man. Now, I think this song was originally sang by Leonard Skinner. It's been covered by numerous other bands and singers. But I think the original is by Leonard Skinner. What'd you think of the American Hitmen?
This was some quality rock, and I admire Howard's quest for a band that will go all the way. So, this was nice. I would probably give them a yes.
Yeah, these guys were incredible. I mean, you're right. This was you and Howard are both right. This is a solid rock band. They can probably play any classic rock song, and just nail it. I think these guys are great.
Yeah.
One of the guys did say that he was confident until Heidi looked him right in the eye, and now he's not.
Yeah, he really went for it.
Yes, he did. A lot of people hitting on Heidi and Mel B this season.
Uh-huh.
I guess it's a little bit different since Sharon's not there anymore. Not many people are kind of hitting on Sharon these days.
Yeah, and it was their first season, so...
That is true. Yep. Yeah. So I'm hoping they'll sing some more classic rock type songs. I don't expect them to sing anything past 1986.
Uh-huh.
So anything in the 70s and early to mid 80s, I think will be right in their wheelhouse. So I'm excited about the American Hitmen.
Yeah, me too.
Do you have anything else for them?
I don't know if I want to do any foreshadowing or not, so I don't know.
Uh-oh. Please don't tell me that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, that concludes episode 5. So if you want, we can get right into episode 6.
Okay.
And we see at the beginning of episode 6, we're back in LA, and Howie is a no-show at this. I tried to look it up and see if I could find out what happened. Howie just said something came up that he had to take care of. I was trying to figure out if any news outlet or anybody kind of covered of why Howie was a no-show for the beginning of this. Do you happen to know if there's any reason?
No, he just made it seem like he was just late. I don't know.
Okay. Well, because he was a no-show, they have 3 judges, so they went back to the rules of you have to have 2 yeses to get through, which is the format that I prefer. So the first act we get is Olivia Rocks, a 14-year-old singer. She said her parents were musicians and were a huge inspiration to her. She sang the song As Long As You Love Me by Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber.
Justin
What'd you
Bieber.
Justin Bieber. What'd you think of Olivia?
Yeah, that was a weird choice. I didn't like the song or the arrangement that much. And she's got a powerful voice, but I don't think it's enough to distinguish her.
I agree with you. All she did was just kind of strum the guitar and sing. I don't think she did anything to stand out. I think it was a terrible song choice. She, I mentioned earlier, if you got some sort of talent, I think you should move on. I think she has the talent. I think she can do something. She got put through to Vegas. I think when she comes back and she's going to have to perform. Now, did you say there's some that are put through, some have to perform, and then some are eliminated immediately? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I think she's going to kind of be on that. She's going to have to perform, but I think she's going to be closer to the group that's going to get eliminated immediately. I know we don't really know that. I don't think they tell us that. But that's just my feeling, is that when they're looking at the acts and they say, they're kind of debating, should she perform or should she go home? I think she's going to kind of be one of those acts that they talk about that a lot. That she also needs to pick a better song. And obviously, she's not going to sing the same song. I think she does not. I don't think Justin Bieber songs are for her. I think she needs to pick another type of song.
Yeah. The judges probably won't be, I think you're right about how they're going to feel about her. Mel gave her some criticisms, and the audience didn't boo her, so I don't know if that means the audience wasn't too thrilled by her either, or if they were just being unusually respectful. But she was also rightfully excited by the judges' positive comments. She seemed very happy about that, and that was cool to see, I guess.
Yeah, Howard told her that she's an extraordinary singer. And I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I think she's a good singer. I don't think she's extraordinary.
Yeah.
That's all I've got for Olivia. Do you have anything else for Olivia?
No.
Okay. We then get some clips of bad acts that Howie would have liked. We also see clips from Howie making his way through the bowels of the studio. He finally shows up. He's going the wrong direction. There's a place that says this is not the stage. He's trying to find his way up to the stage so he can get to the show. While he's doing that, we see the act of Ronald Farnham. And Ronald had a bunch of plungers that he was going to throw and make them stick to people. He says that this is meant to inspire people to take their talents and do things they never thought to do. What do you think of Ronald?
This was worse than expected. Howard,
yes.
Howard cut him off before he said how long he'd been practicing for, but I am interested to know now.
I think this is something he thought up that morning. We had a singing act in last week's podcast where they said they've been together, 3 days?
Yeah.
I think that's about how long that he and these guys have been together, and that he's been doing this act.
That's very possible.
He probably just found some guys in his office and said, "Hey, I'll give you $50 if you'll do this."
Yeah.
He did get one to stick, and of course he got 3 flat out no's.
Mm-hmm.
We then see Perry Kurtz, a 62-year-old ex-male stripper, and he's an ad-lib rapper. He got 3 no's. We then get Mr. Television, and I didn't even write down what Mr. Television was. That's how bad it was. And then Howie finally shows up. So we're back to a full complement of judges.
Yeah, I don't know how it took so long for Howie to find the stage. I would think somebody would try to help him, but such is life, I guess.
Yep. I guess he didn't have his... the people that probably tell them all that are right there next to... are already up on stage, so...
Yeah.
They're like, you show up late, you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
We then get Tummy Talk, who is Matt... Is it Hona and Dave?
Yeah.
And then a 4th very large man appears on the stage and takes his shirt off. Matt, Hona, and Dave then begin to slap him all over the place and make music. What'd you think of Tummy Talk?
I'm not a fan. What about you?
I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, you could actually hear like of course they have the beats. I could kind of hear pitches in there. It was kind of fun. I don't think they got put through to the next round.
Yeah.
I didn't write it down. I don't think they did. Howie did want to know.
No, they did go through.
They did go through? Okay. I think this is an act that's going to be eliminated in Vegas. I mean, it's cool, but it's not anything that's worthy of HCT. Howie wanted to know if they could do this with someone that, what he said, doesn't have as much girth. So they bring Nick out on stage, and we get the hashtag Sexy Nick. They begin to slap him. So Heidi wanted to know if it was wrong that she liked it.
Yeah, she said she had to go by the crowd too when she voted.
She did. You're right, and the crowd wanted it to go through, so she put it through. We then get Fresh Faces, a dance group of 5 little girls. They got put through. We then get Jim Meskimen, who does celebrity impressions. And he did Robert De Niro, Robin Williams, and Ricky Gervais. I thought it was okay. We'll kind of see what he can do in the next round. He got put through.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
We got a guy. Yeah, I mean, it was all right. We got a guy doing extreme breakdancing. Now, this was really cool because he swallowed the sword and then did breakdancing.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a guy mesh sword swallowing and breakdancing together?
No, I mean, it was an interesting combo, but I think the dancing just isn't fast enough for this to be cool.
No, he really has to be careful while he has a sword down his throat.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was the slick performance that I wanted it to be, but it was interesting.
We then get Aerial Eyes. It's a dance group that ice skates. I have in quotes ice skate because they really don't skate on ice. They skate on plastic. They wear ice skates and skate on plastic. And they also have kind of an aerial act. They talked about hot pants. I think, was it Howie said that hot pants should come back? Do you know? I'm not a fashion expert. Are hot pants back? Do you know?
I don't know. Sorry.
I mean, that's okay. This was 4 years ago. I didn't know if all of a sudden hot pants are back now. That's 4 years later.
Yeah. Anyway, I was not really wowed by this. And also, Howie said on the last act that this was the year of melding different arts, and he is absolutely right.
No, you're right. He did say that. I remember him saying that. I forgot to write it down. Yeah, we've seen several acts that are melding multiple things together, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, do you think, will they kind of talk about that again? Do you know?
Yeah, it's not just on auditions.
Okay, so it's kind of like the year of the juggler. They talk about melding different types of acts together.
Yeah.
As far as Aerial Eyes, I was okay with it. I mean, Howie said this first time they've had an ice act. Well, it really wasn't an ice act. It was plastic. They did get through. It's all right. I'm not sure how much further they're going to go.
Yeah, me neither.
We then get Sensation, and they call themselves a 3D video mapping group. And they said they've only been working on this for a year. Only a year? That's a long time to be preparing for an act.
Yeah, it is, and I think they showed that they had some preparation. But the only thing that I really thought was cool about this was the shattering of the boxes at the end.
I must have missed that part.
Yeah, it's sort of the projection made it look like the boxes were into tiny fragments and they all like dropped down. It was a
Oh,
very
okay.
cool finish.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot from this group. It's very familiar to, and I wish I'd written it down. What's the group I probably saw in, what, 6 or 7? It's similar to another act we've seen before, and I really like this type stuff. I think that they'll go pretty far. Heidi said that she was bored during this.
Yeah.
I wonder if she just doesn't. I wonder if she just doesn't get it, or if she doesn't like their fashion sense, because they were wearing look like football helmets and all white jumpsuits.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree with her, I guess. I was mostly just a fan of the finale.
Um, do you think they're going to do more? Or do you think they're going to step it up?
Yeah, probably so. I think it is worth talking about their future right now, since it's really not too much of a spoiler for the next episode, and I think there's a lot of context that is involved here, not about their performances or anything, but just a little bit. If you do want to get into it, I think it might be good to bring up here.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this act will advance straight through to the quarterfinals, despite Heidi giving them a no and Howard saying that they merely had potential. So
Okay.
I think it seems real weird to me that they would move on straight through like that, but yeah, it will be very interesting to see what they do in the quarterfinals.
Okay. Let's get. So they will not have to perform in Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope they've got something already prepared, because they don't have a whole nother year to put something together.
That's true.
So, okay, well, we'll see them at the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert for those that haven't watched season 8 like I have and didn't know what was going to happen in Vegas. So that's okay. No, that's perfectly fine. We then move on to New Orleans, and we get Yasha and Daniela, dancers that mix mamba with the jive, and they consider themselves experts. Yasha sees themselves as boyfriend and girlfriend when they get older. Daniela doesn't see them boyfriend and girlfriend at all, and she thinks he needs a tan.
Ah, yes.
With her cut of the $1,000,000, she wants to get half. So she's going to get half of the $1,000,000. She wants to give half of that to the poor, and then wants to build a mansion. He wants to take his half, save for college, and build a mansion where they will live together.
Yeah, well, it's a good value. Combine your mansions.
That's right. You might better build a big one, because I doubt that she'll want to be anywhere near you.
Yeah.
They dance to Shake Senora, sorry. And I thought this was kind of fun.
Yeah, I thought they were all right, but I think they're probably going to get crushed by the Untouchable kids.
Oh yeah, I have in here. It'll be interesting to see who comes out of Vegas between them, Ruby and Jonas, and D'Angelo and Ruby. And I think you're right. Out of the 3 groups, they're going to finish third out of the 3 groups.
Yeah.
I think the other 2 are much better. I think it's, in my opinion, I put Ruby in here twice. It's not Ruby and Jonas. It's D'Angelo and, I'd have to see who his partner is. I think
Amanda,
Ruby and Jonas
maybe?
who is that?
Is it Amanda?
It might be Amanda. Yeah, it might be D'Angelo and Amanda. I better change that on here. I think of the 3 groups, I think it's Ruby and Jonas, D'Angelo and Amanda, and then Yasha and Daniela.
Yeah, I think so too.
They said they've been dancing together since they were 3 years old, and we will see them again in Vegas.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else for Yasha and Daniela?
No, that's it.
We then come back from a commercial break, seeing an aerial act where the person is suspended from a balloon and hovering above the crowd. They got put through to Vegas. That's definitely an act I don't think I've ever seen before.
Yeah. I'm not sure I can really make a judgment call on this one, considering how little we saw of it. I don't really even know what it was.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say, is I'm not even sure what the act is. So we'll just kind of see what happens next week.
Yeah.
We then get Jimmy Rose, 32, from Pineville, Kentucky. Now, I'm not for sure if we're still in New Orleans at this point or if we've gone back to New York. I couldn't quite figure that out. But wherever these auditions are at, he says Pineville is about 12 hours away. Yeah. And I was trying to get this straight. I think he said right out of high school he went to be a coal miner, and then he decided to join the Marines. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was very confused about that too. He said like he went straight into the mines or something, except he was a veteran. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that he went to the mines, and then he decided that that if you're going to risk your life, that there's a better way to do it, and he decided to then go into the Marines.
Yeah. He brought that up on stage too.
Yeah, I had to go back and listen to it a couple of times just to make sure I got all that right, because I was confused by it when I first heard that. But you're right, he then talked about it on the stage.
Yeah.
And while he's on the stage, he said, "I'm sorry."
No one asked if he was a veteran. He just kind of threw it out there.
He just kind of threw it out there, right? Which I think is perfectly fine. I mean,
yeah.
No one. I mean, they're not going to know unless he's wearing something that identifies him as a veteran. They're not going to ask every act if they're veterans. So the producers may tell them, bring up that you're a veteran or mention that you've been in the military or something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
He then sang an original song, "Cole Keeps the Lights On." And from the title, it's not what I thought it was. I think what I thought it was he was going to talk about, the reason we have coal is to generate power and it generates electricity and all that. But I think the purpose of the song was people go and work in the mines in order to make money so that they can support their family.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. I guess that's kind of a double meaning then.
Right. That's, when I first heard it, the way he sang it was not what I thought it was going to mean. But I think both are fine. I think both definitions of the song are fine. I think it makes sense.
Yeah. Cole Keeps the Lights On. It's such a lame song to me. I'm sorry. This was a big thumbs down for me. I just found it pretty laughable.
I was on the other end of the spectrum. I thought it was really good. We've talked about original songs. I thought another one of those that's kind of his life experience, talking about his time in the mines and people that go work in the mines. That's pretty much the only life that they have. I'm up in an area where people up here really depend on coal mines. That's what you do. You're generation after generation as you go when you work in the coal mines. Coal up in this area is really getting hit hard with all the regulations and people getting down on mines. But, it's for a lot of people, that's their only livelihood. That's pretty much what keeps, like he says, keeps the lights on. But it's kind of what keeps communities going. When mines shut down, then cities shut down. I guess I'm going into a big political rant, which is not really for this, but just kind of giving an explanation of the song, which the reason that I kind of liked it, because I can kind of relate to his experiences. Not that I've ever been in a coal mine, but I've known people that have worked in coal mines.
Right.
Heidi said that she was really into it, got a standing ovation. I guess we get a lot of hashtags this year because I know in season 11 we're getting the Twitter accounts for actual acts. I'm not sure when we start getting that. Do you know if season 11 is like the first year we get that, or if we're If
I don't think so. It's probably the peak
Do we-
year, but I don't know. I have no idea when that
you don't
started.
know. Okay, because I noticed we're getting a lot of hashtags for acts, but in season 11, we would actually get their Twitter handle.
Yeah,
So I
the
don't know if that
handles are
started
probably
up.
more effective.
I agree. I just didn't know if season 11 started that or if it started in 9 or 10.
Yeah, I don't know.
Howard said that he would have added Jimmy's record to radio stations. So I'm guessing you disagreed with that.
Yeah. Sorry. How far do you think this guy will get?
He might. Well, I think he'll get to the quarterfinals. I don't think he'll get past that. He may have to perform next week in Vegas. I don't think he's going to be good enough to just automatically go through. So, quarterfinals, and then he'll get eliminated.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have anything else for Jimmy Rose?
No, I don't think so.
We then get Abel Murillo, who builds and plays his own instruments. And he started off playing a guitar that was made from a crutch. Then he played a watering can and immediately got 4 buzzes. And I think the judges were totally confused by what they just saw.
Yeah. I did not like this.
Yeah. We then get to the act that kept popping up in all of the coming up on AGT. Captain Explosion.
Yeah, they were milking this way too hard.
They were milking this very hard. We pretty much saw the same 2 seconds every exit to commercial.
Yeah.
So Captain Explosion, he blows himself up. I'm not sure what better way to explain it, but that's what he says. He blows himself up.
Yeah.
This was an act, of course, they had to go outside to do. The judges had to wear earplugs for this. This is not an act they can do inside. So this was similar, and I don't know the season, but there was an act that the guy was a human cannonball. So every performance, they had to go outside in order to do the act. This is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I have this is right up there with Professor Splash and the Human Cannonball. I think he's going to get. This was one of those things that was fun to watch one time. I'm not sure we're going to see it again. I think he's going to get eliminated next week. Not even perform. So it's.
Did he go through?
He's a. Actually, oh no, you're right. No, you are absolutely right. He did not even get put through. I didn't even read the last line on my notes. He did not get put through to Vegas. So.
Yeah, that seemed weird. Howard seemed really into it when it was going on, and then he said, "Well, there's no showmanship. It wasn't exciting. No thanks."
Right, that is right. Howard did say that he needed more in like the presentation and the build up to it. It was pretty much, hey, here I am. I'm gonna go climb in a box, and then kaboom. And Howard thinks he needs more build up to it.
Yeah. I would have given him a yes.
I would have given him a yes to go to Vegas, but then I'd probably eliminate him from there.
Okay. I don't know how much more you can do, honestly.
I agree. I don't think. I mean, it's kind of the who was the the old lady in season 11 that Nick loved?
Dorothy.
The Golden Buzzer.
Dorothy Williams.
Dorothy Williams. Yes. It's very Dorothy Williams. You want to see it one time, you don't want to see it again.
Okay. Yeah.
We then get Chloe Chanel, an 11-year-old singer, and she says that she sings everywhere. And her parents actually get on to her sometimes and say, do you have to sing everywhere? You don't need to sing all the time. And she sang All American Girl by Carrie Underwood. and that if she won the $1 million, and I didn't understand this, she would get a new hunting camp.
Yeah. I don't know.
So she'll use her $1 million to shoot big old bucks.
Yeah. That's she's gonna buy land for it, I guess, right?
Maybe. I didn't quite understand all that. So
Yeah. It was interesting seeing how weird that hunting culture looks to people who aren't around it all the time. That was kind of fun. I don't know if you had been exposed to a lot of that in Texas, but yeah, that was interesting to see from the judges, and there were actually a lot of comments about that on the YouTube channel too, on the clip that we watched this on.
when I was growing up, I mainly lived in the suburbs, so I wasn't around a lot of hunting. But when I moved up to Tennessee, I'm around it all the time. I know tons of people that go hunting. They talk about their hunting. They do very well in their hunting. So I'm familiar with a lot of the hunting stuff. I'm just not familiar with what she's talking about here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know the ins and outs of it.
Yeah, I don't know the details. I just kind of got the gist that she wants to use her money to shoot more deer. That's all I got from it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But as far as her performance, what did you think of All American Girl?
I was expecting to hate this, but there's something that I liked about it. I'm not sure what it was.
She started out not really wowing me. It seemed just very vanilla at the beginning. I think we've heard other kids that have done much, much better. Katie Lynn in season 11, I think would destroy her in auditions.
Yeah.
I thought Katie Lynn was much, much better. They're probably from the same area. I think Katie Lynn's from East Texas.
Okay.
I didn't see where she was from. Yeah, I didn't get where she was from. She wasn't wowing me at the beginning, but about halfway through the song, I think she got much better. It may have just been the nerves kind of came off, and she got much better at that point.
Yeah, I think her pitches were very clear, and I don't know, maybe she just had like some nice southern drawl that I liked. It's not too annoying. I don't know. I was just I liked her singing.
I thought it was a perfect song choice. It was a country song. I thought it fit her much better than the Justin Bieber song from earlier. She's obviously going to sing country songs. So I think she'll do pretty well. I think she'll kind of be like Katie Lynn in season 11. I think she'll at least get to the semifinals. We'll kind of see on that.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I did notice as the judges were talking to her is Howard pulled a Simon. Did you happen to notice this?
Was it a fake out?
It was a fake out, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't get the exact wording, but it was very like, I didn't like it. And then he turned right around and said, but no, I thought it was terrific. So
yeah,
it was the fake out before we actually got the fake outs. I hope he never, ever does that again.
Well, Vegas week, there's quite a bit of that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that in Vegas week they do a lot of that, and they all do that. All four of the judges.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
just kind of the worst part about it.
Yeah, I'd completely forgotten about that. So, anything else on Chloe Chanel?
No.
We then get Megan Amigo, a belly dancing contortionist, and she's very happy, very spiritual. Said that Howard has a very pure heart. Do you think Howard has a pure heart?
Yeah, sure. There's some goodness in there.
There's got to be some goodness in there. I don't think he's a complete jerk. I probably just don't agree with some of the way he does some stuff. But I mean, he's got to be a nice guy.
Yeah.
She reminded me a little bit of Lindsay Norton from season 7 and Sophie Dossie from season 11, but I thought both of them were way better than Megan.
Yeah. I didn't even draw those comparisons, but yeah, I agreed with Howard. I can't remember what he said, but I agreed with him.
He said that she's a really good contortionist and a really bad belly dancer.
Yeah, okay.
Of course, Howie was the only one to say yes, and she got sent home.
Yeah, I don't
Would you have
understand what Howie was joking about. Maybe that was
I
just
think
something I didn't get.
I think Howie's just kind of one of those guys that likes the feminine body.
Okay.
And if anyone kind of shows any exotic type nature, then he's an automatic yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you have put her through?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. We then see a montage of some bad acts to the song It's as Cold as Ice, and Heidi kept complaining about how cold it was.
Yeah, that was an interesting montage.
Yeah. And now I'm guessing we move back to New York. Again, I'm kind of fuzzy onto this, but I'm guessing we move back to New York. And we get 212 Green. It's a band from New York City. And the reason I think we're back in New York City is kind of their package shows them in New York City. And I'm not sure why they would have traveled to New Orleans when they were already in New York City. So anyway, I think we're back in New York City.
Yeah.
They sang the song Rumor Has It by Adele. What did you think of this?
I'm not sure that they integrated the rap well into their arrangement. The judges kind of liked that breakdown, but I wasn't really a fan of that. So, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have put them through.
I'm not for sure what I would have done on this. I'm kind of on the fence about it. You know, Heidi thinks that each of the girls needed to kind of have their own moment to shine. I'm trying to think back of was it just 3 girls? Is that it? Or was there some other parts in the act as well?
I think it might not have been. I don't know.
Okay. We did get the hashtag MelBHugs because one of the girls is a huge Spice Girls fan.
Yeah, that was cool.
If you ever went on AGT, would you have a favorite judge? Like, we saw, we'll see later about Howard and his experience. Here we have someone that absolutely loves Mel B. If you went on AGT, would you have a favorite judge that you would just go goo or gaga over?
I don't. The only things that I know any of the past judges from was Howie on Deal or No Deal and David Hasselhoff in the SpongeBob movie. So, no, I don't think that I would, although I've heard good things about Howard Stern. I don't know. Would you?
I would, but I first want to ask, you know the Hoff from the SpongeBob movie and not from Baywatch?
No, I never saw Baywatch.
Okay. I would be like you. Howie would probably be the one that I would be like, Howie, I'm a huge fan of yours. I've watched you since I was a kid, even though your stuff's not kid friendly. I love you as Bobby. He would be the one that I would kind of just be like, I'm a huge fan of yours, Howie. I love you on Deal or No Deal. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see his stand up. If you ever did stand up in my area, I'd love to see him do stand up. I like Howie Mandel. But I would never fight. I would never try out for AGT. I would never get past. Well, I take that back. I could probably do something that's so horrendous they'd put me through.
No real favorite then.
No, Howie. Howie would be my favorite.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, Howie. Yeah. Do you have anything else for 212 Green?
No.
We then get Al Harris, and he is a correctional officer. Howard said that the only audience Al has ever had is a captive audience.
Yeah.
Al is a prop comic that all he does is puns.
Hmm.
Uh, I have down that this guy is a good version of Carrot Top. Do you know who Carrot Top is?
Yeah.
What'd you think of Al?
He was lovable but bad.
He is very bad. Yes. He would not give up. They were trying to get him off the stage, and he would not give up.
If he had any less charisma, I'm sure they would have called security.
The audience wanted him to go through, though.
Yeah. I'm sure. I don't know. They seem like an easy crowd to turn around if you have enough time.
Yeah. Yep, sure does. This is one of those acts that I probably would have liked to have seen more of, just because it's hilariously bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to see a lot of it. I'd want to see it maybe in the next round, or something of that nature. But
They should have him do a results show.
Do a results show?
Yeah. That
Bring
would be
him back
cool
in
if
the
they did
finale?
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And just start throwing out a bunch of puns.
Yeah.
We then are finished with episode 6, and we move on to episode 7, so we're in the home stretch.
Yeah. Nice.
We get Mestizo Ballet. It's a mariachi trio of boys. So we have an older boy, which was, about 10 or 11. Then we have another one that's, like 6 or 7, somewhere around in there. And then we have a little 3-year-old.
He was adorable.
And it was so cute. The older boys, the 2 older ones, they were holding actual machetes. And the younger one, whose name was Mateo, the 3-year-old, he was holding butter knives. And what'd you think of this?
It was fun to watch. It was pretty cute. Did they go through or not? I can't remember.
They did get put through. I don't think they'll do much after Vegas, though. I'm not sure what more they can do. They kind of have the cuteness factor. Since it is Vegas and the judges actually make a decision at this point, you can't have America voting. And America loves little boys and little girls, loves kids. But the judges at least have a little control in the next round, and I don't think we're going to see them in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I don't know. I am looking forward to seeing them again, though.
Yeah, I hope to see them perform in Vegas just to see if they kind of have a little more range. I'm just not sure if we'll see them after Vegas.
Yeah.
But it is cute, and we get Mel B hugs again. So Mel B hugs all over the place.
Yay.
We then get a montage of some acts going through. We get the Aquanauts. We're back in the pool doing some synchronized swimming. Are we gonna have to go to the pool every time this act needs to do something?
Probably, yeah.
That's gonna be a nightmare for once we get to a live show.
Yeah.
We then get Kevin Downey Jr., a comedian, Tavi and Antonio, an aerial love duet, and we get the hashtag AGTKiss.
Yeah. I don't remember what that was about.
It was basically 2 guys, and they were doing an aerial acrobatic act. And they just said that they're doing an aerial love duet. I think they both have. I think they're both shirtless. I can't remember if they're wearing. I guess they're just wearing pants with no shirt. It's just them up in the air doing a little ballet.
Okay.
Yeah. We then get Timber Brown, a 28-year-old acrobatic entertainer. This was interesting. Mel B said that she knows him, that they did a Vegas show together at one point.
Yeah.
And she had to eliminate herself from voting. What'd you think of Timber Brown?
He had a good finishing move of dropping down almost to the floor, but overall it didn't impress me that much.
The act itself seemed just rather normal, and then you're right, at the very end he dropped down looking like he kind of let go, and then he catches himself right before he hits the ground.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was okay. I don't think it's going to be worthy of going on in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, probably not.
We do have a hashtag Timber Brown, so that may be kind of an indication that he's going to go further than we think he is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to think now that if we're getting hashtags for some of these acts, that they're going to do better, since I'm sure at this point that it's televised, that they've already done the Vegas stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that they overlap nowadays, but I'm not sure about then. But yeah, I don't know that the hashtag thing is really a safe assumption from what we've seen so far, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I think, I'm pretty sure he did go through. I didn't write it down, but I think he did get put through.
Yeah.
We find out that Howie has been married 33 years. Congrats to the Mandels. It's now been 37 years, because that was 4 years ago.
Yay.
So congrats to the Mandels. We then get Skylar Hicks, a 14-year-old singer who has who says that it's a she, singing since she was a baby, and she gets real bad stage fright. We find out her dad passed away a few years ago. She wrote her first song for his funeral, and she sang her own original song. What'd you think of Skylar?
Yeah, I liked the original song, of course, and she had just an enchanting voice. It was definitely a yes for me. I loved it.
It was really good. Yes, it's a yes for me. We'll see if she's going to do. Is this the Grace before the Grace? Is she going to continue to do her own original songs and?
Yeah, she does.
Okay. That'll be interesting to see in Vegas.
For sure.
What she writes for us, or what she sings for us.
Yeah.
We find out that one of the crew members has a sinus infection, and this was kind of interesting because they're kind of like back in the green room where the judges kind of gather to wind down or get ready for the show or whatever it may be, and somebody's left their medicine just sitting around. Now, this has to be Howie's worst nightmare, to be in this room with someone that's got a sinus infection.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of why he was hunting him down like that. Because I don't know if it is normally socially acceptable to call people out on random medicine you find lying around, but yeah.
Yeah, this has got to be a violation to numerous HIPAA laws. To be on national TV asking whose medicine is this and what is it for?
Yeah.
I wonder if after this point he then got it written into his contract that everyone has to get a clean bill of health before they can be around him on the show.
That is very possible.
We then get into Dr. Bob Baker, who's from Long Island, and he's a gastroenterologist. He's actually dressed in his scrubs for his performance, and we find out that this is Howard's personal doctor.
Yes. That was very interesting.
Yes, and what makes it even more interesting is that he was a ventriloquist, right?
Yeah.
So he's a ventriloquist. He sticks his hands up puppets' butts. So not only does he do that, but he sticks his hand up Howard's butt as well to give him to give him some checkups.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting that, earlier we get an act that Mel B knows, and now we get an act that Howard knows, pretty much on a personal basis.
Yeah, quite the foreshadowing.
Yes. What did you think of Dr. Baker's ventriloquism?
Howie is right. It was not $1 million act.
No, this was pretty bad.
Yeah.
We saw a ventriloquist earlier in the season, and I wish I'd written her name down, who is much better than this.
For sure.
So he did not get put through to Vegas. Howard did have to give up his vote since he knows him personally.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. If a judge gives up their vote, doesn't that automatically make it a yes?
I think it goes back to the old style rules as they did when Howie was not there.
Right, and that's what I mean is, though, it goes down to 3 judges. So two yeses get put through.
Oh, mm-hmm. Yeah,
but,
I guess
but
so.
Does it? So if you bow out from voting, pretty much isn't that a default yes?
Yeah, that is a brilliant point. I never thought about that, but that is yeah, you're right.
It's actually in the performer's benefit to know the judge, because that is an automatic yes.
Yeah, it is.
It kind of backfires.
Right.
On it, they're trying to do the right thing and not show favorites to their act or to their people that they know, but at the same time it defaults it to a yes.
Yeah, I have no idea how that worked when there were 3 judges too. So, but you're right.
I've never seen something like this happen before.
Yeah, I don't know if it has.
It'll be interesting to see do we know if it happens again in future seasons?
I want to say yes, but I'm not sure.
9 or 10? Okay. Well, we'll see when we get to 9 or 10. We get a girl hula hooping and burping at the same time. This was awful. Didn't get put through.
Yeah, she was not skilled.
No. We get a montage of some bad acts. We get another Jesus who teaches people how to shoot baskets. And it was really cool that there were actual New Orleans Hornets there at the taping.
Yeah.
So they came up on stage, shot some baskets. The guy tried to teach, I guess, Howard how to shoot a basket, and he missed. So another one of those acts where their talent is to teach people things. And this just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, this was comical.
It was a little comical, yeah, and it was cool to kind of get the NBA players up there.
Yeah. And of course they made it.
Yeah, of course they made it, yep. We then get a girl that does poetry. She didn't get through to Vegas. This poetry was so sensual and inappropriate that Nick had her do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And said that he needed visuals.
Yeah.
And while she was doing it, he got up close and personal with her.
Yeah.
And then we get another Mariah reference.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, it's still weird hearing all these Mariah references, and that was just 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Hashtag Hey Mariah.
We then get a feature of Milton Patton from Arkansas, and he sings country music because of a bad relationship with an ex. What'd you think of Milton? Oh, he sang Whiskey Lullaby by Brad Paisley.
Yeah, he's not bad, but I'm not a country fan, so I don't know.
As far as the singing went, did you enjoy it? I mean,
yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was good too. I'm excited to see him along with what was her name? with Skylar and a couple of the other singers that we've seen so far. It'd be kind of interesting just to. We're starting to get a few more singers now. I haven't really put them all together yet. We don't have as many as we had in season 11 with Simon. It just doesn't seem like we have a lot of singers at this point.
Yeah. I am loving it. But that's just me.
We get yeah.
The singers we do have are pretty good, too.
Right, and I don't mind singers. I think it's okay. I like having singers in the show. That's not the problem. I don't want the overabundance of singers. I don't want half of the acts to be singers.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think we have a good mix and a good percentage right now. We'll see how it all irons out after Vegas, though.
Yeah. I'm very happy with the season right now, though.
Okay, we then come to the end here, and we get a nice little feature of Howard. They do a montage of how people love Howard. Big fans get him having his picture taken for some promo. Just a lot of Howard stuff. At the very end, we get Jetta from Sacramento, California. And what's interesting about Jetta is she has the same last name of Howard's wife's maiden name. And she also says that she looks like Howard. She's a huge Howard fan. This is a huge dream of hers to be able to audition in front of Howard. So she sings the song Hot Stuff by Donna Summer. What'd you think of this?
Howard can make pretty much anything funny. It was nice to see them play off each other, but I don't think she should have gone through.
Agreed. I don't think she should go through either. I'm not a fan of Howard's, but I think Howard does a lot for his fans. He recognizes that his fans are the reason for his career. And I think, for the most part, entertainers kind of recognize that. There's a few out there that don't recognize that their fans are the reason they are where they are. But I think Howard is one of those people. And he seems to be a lot of fun in this type stuff. He knows it's an entertaining atmosphere. He takes it in stride. So it was a lot of fun to kind of see him get up there and kind of perform with her.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Even though her singing was awful.
Yeah. Make no mistake. It was very bad.
Yeah, it was very bad. And what he said was that this was a Susan Boyle moment.
That's a great line.
I know. And, he was out loud, he was telling the judges that she needed to go through, but then would kind of secretly tell them, no, do not put her through. Whatever you do not put her through.
Yeah.
So, and the judges were great at playing along of, well, I don't know, maybe we should, or, I can kind of see this, or so.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun to kind of see. She was, even though her singing was awful, the whole segment was really entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we managed to get all of 5, 6, and 7 within 2 hours.
What an achievement.
What an achievement. We just blasted through all of that. Do you have anything else you want to say about any of these episodes?
We got a very nice montage to close out Auditions at the end there. Just kind of good vibes. I'm feeling very, very happy about this season. It's wonderful to revisit. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I've enjoyed Auditions. There's a lot of fun stuff in here. I think it's interesting seeing Mel B and Heidi in their first season. They've gotten their first wave of auditions out of the way. I think they did a fine job for the first time around. It'll be interesting to see how things change with them in season 9. But we've got to get through season 8 first. And we have Vegas coming up. So we will start working on watching the Vegas shows. I think there's 2 Vegas shows. Does that sound right?
Yeah, because it's 1 week, and there was like a Tuesday and Wednesday that they showed it.
Okay, then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and knock out both Vegas shows in our next podcast, and then we'll be right into quarterfinals. We'll be right into the live shows.
I'm so excited.
I'm getting it start. This whole season, I'm starting to get into it. It's coming around. I've got to go back and kind of look at all the acts now as a whole, see who's been put through, kind of review it, and see what we have coming up in Vegas. But I think as a whole, it's got some pretty solid acts.
Yeah. There's good stuff coming in this season, and this whole trifecta of seasons with the Howard, Heidi, Mel panel, it's just awesome. So I'm feeling very good.
Well, if any of you want to reach out to us about what we've talked about on the auditions so far, you can reach out to us on Twitter and on Facebook at AGTcast. We also have an email at agtcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions or comments about things that are coming up, if you've already seen Season 8 and you want us to talk about something in particular that's coming up in Vegas, the quarterfinals, even the finals, if you already know what's going on and you want us to talk about it when we get there, shoot us a note. Cody Mims will go through all those. I know I've mentioned it before, but I have not seen Season 8. I do not know how it ends. So if you want to talk about anything, go ahead and send it to us. Cody Mims will go through them. Please put in there as well the act and the round that that act performed in, so we can kind of know when we need to talk about it. But we'd love to hear from you guys. We'd also appreciate it if you go out on iTunes, leave us a review. You can catch us on YouTube as well. We put our podcast out on YouTube. So we have tons of ways for you guys to listen to us and reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love some comments and some questions. We'd love to get you guys involved.
Yeah, we are creating content because that's really what this is about.
It is. It's about AGT. It's about you guys, the fans. We're like Howard. We know who makes the show here, and it's you, the fans of AGT and of the show. So we'd really appreciate you here, you reaching out to us, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, we're probably not going to move to satellite radio, though.
We are not moving to satellite radio. We cannot come up with that much money. We would then have to do a daily show, and shoot, I don't know if that would fit into my work schedule.
Yeah.
Well, do you have anything else before we tie up auditions?
I don't think so. We're not doing any sort of retrospective thing like I imagine we would if we were watching this live, but I think that's fine. I think we got these 3 episodes in, and we're gonna keep on moving along. We haven't talked about this off air yet, but there's also some sort of Caden Bart Rocket thing. I don't know if we're going to do a podcast on it, but if you missed it, you might want to check it out. So, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of caught a little bit of that. Now that you brought it up, we can talk about it for a minute. I caught a little bit of it. It was kind of a New Year's thing that they did. The few minutes that I watched, I think, was of Katie Lynn singing, and it did not look good from just those couple minutes. Now, the rest of it may have been fine. And if you recommend it, I can go back and watch it. But from what I saw, it did not look like it was very good.
Okay. I haven't seen it at all. I have so many questions.
Okay.
So, the production didn't look good?
Right. Just, again, I only watched a couple of minutes, and it was Caden and his sister, what's her name? Anyway, it's Caden and his sister kind of sitting there at home in front of a fire, and then it would switch to, and it looked like it was Katie Lynn performing on TV, and they had a camera pointed at a TV. So it wasn't like Katie. Yeah, it wasn't like Katie Lynn was there in the house or in studio or wherever they were. It didn't look like Katie Lynn was in person. It's like Katie Lynn was somewhere else, and she was also like recorded, or she was on camera, and they were then shooting a camera at the monitor or TV or whatever it was that she was presenting on. So
that's lame.
I didn't watch. Yeah, again, I only watched a couple of minutes of it. If anybody else out there is still listening at this point and saw this, please contact us and let us know if we're completely wrong on it. Maybe I need to go back and revisit it. But I watched a couple minutes and I was like, this does seem lame, and I turned it off. I could be completely wrong, and there may have been some other parts that were really good. I have no idea.
It sounds like it's as shabbily constructed as that school they had in one of their acts. Got 'em.
Were they kind of holding it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it looked, and when the camera would point to them, it looked very staged. Obviously it kind of is. It did not look natural at all. But like I say, I'm disclaimer here that I only watched like 2 minutes of it, and I turned it off. So
there was no
I may
audience?
not have given it. No, it's a Facebook Live. It was a Facebook Live thing. It was not meant to be an audience.
So
the audience is you watching from home.
So where were the people performing? Just like by themselves in some room?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like Katie Lynn was at home, and
I see.
she then had and then she had a camera pointed on her, and then they would have like a monitor or a TV set up, and then they would have a camera.
Yeah,
the way that the way the quality looked, it looked like I was pointing a camcorder at a TV.
Oh, okay.
Like
this
when
is
people
all
record
coming
stuff
together
off
now.
of TV with their phones. Yeah, and again, I only saw 2 minutes of Katie Lynn. I don't know how any of the rest of it was.
So I would imagine this is all just like mailed in clips that they did.
That's what I'm thinking, or something of that nature.
Okay, well, I guess that's our time on the
I
Kid and Bart Rocket New Year's Countdown.
Yeah, I was gonna be surprised if because they had like all the finals acts they had listed like all the big name acts from season 11 they had listed. I was gonna be shocked if like all of those people were in one location doing a New Year's Eve thing with Kid and Bart Rocket.
Yeah, I guess I got my hopes too high.
Now, if this was a Simon production in Barbados, and it had all these people listed, I could understand it being I would definitely have tuned in for that. But I did not have high hopes for it when I saw that Kane Bart Rocket was doing something with Sal and with the passing zone and Katie Lynn and all the big acts from like the finale.
Okay.
So there. That's our Kate and Bart Rocket New Year's Eve spectacular.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it was a very big thing in the community, so I don't really know. Did you see how many people were watching it?
I didn't get an exact number. There was a few hundred people watching it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I even I've been just trying to get our name out there. I think I even liked it with our AGT Cast Facebook page.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. So there's that. That's pretty much what it is. On that note, you got anything else for the auditions? Anything else coming up?
No, I think that's all.
Well, until next time we'll get into Vegas week. We'll knock out both Vegas shows in one podcast. And until then, everyone have a wonderful new year.
Goodbye now.